Warner Brothers Discovery are talking about their turnaround, allegedly, of the company. This is something they've been working on for years. They've kind of run it into the ground, but they're promising that they are on the up and up, and it's all about to hit a stride. Okay, so they talk in this about like the Discovery Global spinoff has been slated to take on a big chunk of the $33 billion in long-term debt that now sits on their balance sheet. Weidenfels asserted that the spinoff would emerge with a 3.3 debt to earnings ratio, which he called absolutely sustainable and supportable. Basically, they're restructuring everything because they have so much freaking debt and not a whole lot of money coming in. They've really been struggling. But one of the things that they mentioned was this at the very, very end. Okay. This little bit. As for Warner Brothers gaming business, Perret acknowledged that, quote, 2025 was a year of reset. 2024 was kind of too with Suicide Squad, but that's a whole other thing. After the division got distracted going after too many IPs with too broad a set of studios, end quote. This year, Warner Brothers Discovery is slated to release a new Lego Batman game and a Game of Thrones themed mobile game dubbed Dragonfire. The Lego Batman game does look fire. Perret hinted at bigger things to come next year. He said, quote, the real fruits will start coming in 2027 and 28 when we return to some of our biggest franchises, he said. Perret didn't specify any titles, but it's likely he was referencing the push for the studio to release Hogwarts Legacy game sequel that will coincide with the debut of the HBO Harry Potter series, which is almost certainly what this is referring to. Now, this is backed up by some discovery that some other people have dug up, which is interesting. Okay, so what am I referring to when it comes to leaks and something spotted that was interesting? Well, this has been clipped by a number of sources, but Expecto Go was the first one to actually find it, and I want to give him his flowers for this. If you don't recognize Expecto Go, covered Hogwarts Legacy a ton back in 2023. He was actually one of the fans that they invited out to like do one of those preview videos they did. Big fan and has been following the development of the sequel pretty closely. He made a video back in December because he, like I, have been following the job postings. Basically, a little bit of espionage, some stuff you can do is you can sign up for job postings even if you're not actively looking for a job. But it means that you get emails about the job postings and the people that they're hiring, which can tell you a lot. For example, that's how I started to spot, and other people like Expecto Go started to spot, that they were actually hiring people to work on Harry Potter with experience in like multiplayer games and live service games. And it's not super clear what exactly is happening. I think that there's a few different angles this could go. And if Expecto Go wants to come on stream and fill me in if he knows more, I would love to have him on. Because my understanding is that they are likely working with two teams, but it's not super clear right now what is happening. Okay, there's a few possible outcomes. Okay, and don't get devastated yet. Okay, keep your chin up. Bear with me while I explain this. Okay, because I don't think it's as clear cut as like Hogwarts Legacy 2, the multiplayer game. My understanding is they have two teams. Okay, we'll call it T1 and T2. Okay, this is a single player focused team, the team that made Hogwarts Legacy. This is a multiplayer team that they've largely assembled from scratch after the success of Hogwarts Legacy. They are working, no doubt, on things, but we don't know how this is broken up. It could be that these are two totally separate games, okay? Where this is Hogwarts Legacy 2 and that this is Hogwarts Living. It's an MMO set in the world of Harry Potter. It could be that they're two totally separate games. What I suspect is that they may be trying to rather do a sort of GTA Online thing where they have the single player story that is still single player. It's the open world, all of that stuff. But then they have a separate mode, just like GTA Online, where you can load into the same world that they've built. And then you can play with your friends. And it's an MMO where you can like go and attend classes, and each season for the game is a literal season in real life where it's like the fall semester in the fall. And so, you know, the weather actively changes throughout the year as you attend classes and stuff. And, you know, to level up your potions, you have to actually attend potions class. Kind of like Bully. Yeah, that's my suspicion. So this I think very well could be what they're doing is that it's actually much more of a GTA online situation where you get the best of both worlds. You get the online mode that is separate and doesn't affect the single player mode. They get their live service money over here. They get those 35 million units sold over here from the single player game. That at least is what I suspect. It could be a totally separate project, meaning it's a separate game entirely. It's a separate, like, it's not considered to be a sequel or part of it. It could be something just totally different. We just don't know. But they have been hiring multiplayer teams. Now, there's that. That's one aspect of this. But what did Expecto Go find back in December? Well, he noticed a job posting that was very, very interesting.
I say the earliest is 2026 we could see this trailer. I say the earliest is 2026. And again, going off that timeline I stated with Naughty Dog and just when we're getting this. And also keep in mind, we talked about it earlier, the Harry Potter TV show, HBO series is airing in 2027. Thanks to WB, back in 2024, I think, or 2025, they confirmed that the TV series will be linked to the sequel narratively in some way, shape, or form.
Which I don't know how that's going to work, but they did say that. They said that the story of the show will connect to the sequel to Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know how that works. Do they mean literally it's because Harry Potter's in the show and we'll reference Harry Potter? I don't know if that's how it works. Hogwarts Legacy is a prequel by a good bit to Harry Potter. So I don't know what that means. Does that mean we're fast forwarding in time? Does that mean that they're going to have references to things the player does in the story? I don't know. It could mean 1,000 things. Because we also don't know if the sequel is going to have the same character from the last game. It very well could not. It could be now that they move forward and we explore Hogwarts, but circa like World War II. I don't even know what the hell that would be like. Like, why don't you guys go and assassinate Hitler with Avada Kedavra or something? That sounds hard. You know, it gets kind of tricky when you try to mix the magic world and the real world, and we're busy right now. We have this game we play on brooms. Like it could get tricky if you did that. Maybe not World War II, but maybe they go and do something with maybe they do it at the same time and you see Harry Potter walking around. Yeah, that's Muggle business. Exactly. We're pacifists, frankly. You guys figure that out. We're busy. Yeah, maybe don't go to World War II. That's one. I don't think there's a clearly established lore for that. Yeah. But that is something they've said, is that it will tie together narratively. And what that tells me is that there's going to be something, like they're going to be in proximity, I think, right? Like if the game is connected to the show launches next year, probably in the fall, like surely they'll have the game out close to that, you would think, right? Like if the show launches and the game comes out a year later, that would surprise me. So I think it'd be in the same range. And when we're talking about a trailer, a specific like announcement for Hogwarts Legacy 2 or whatever it is, that's what he's referring to and what he's going to get to with what he discovered. The Hogwarts Legacy first trailer, I think, was 2021 or 2020. It was around there, but it was like a solid 2 years before the game launched, which would mean right about now is when we could see that trailer if it was coming in late 2027. Very, very easily.
So I know there's going to be some closeness in regards to release dates for both the Harry Potter TV show and Hogwarts Legacy 2. The TV show we know is coming out in 2027. Hogwarts Legacy 2, I think the earliest it could come out is late 2027 around holiday. Definitely 2028, which would put it at the 5-year mark.
It put it at the 5-year mark, and that puts it right at the cusp of next gen, meaning they can then do what they did with Hogwarts Legacy, where they do a cross-generational thing. They do an update for the PS6 and for whatever the Xbox is, and they can just do those upgrades and double dip on revenue and stuff with upgrades and stuff. But what he also spotted was that Avalanche Software hired in December, or was looking to hire, a video capture artist. Now, you don't need a video capture artist unless you have something to capture and a reason to capture it, which to me suggests the trailer could be much closer. Because how long does it honestly take you to make a trailer? You know, like if you get hired and you get that job, you go, you capture some stuff, you cut it together with some music that they provide you. Like I can't imagine it's that crazy complicated. I've made lots of videos. I've made fake trailers. I've done all that stuff just for the fun of it. So I imagine if you're working professionally and you're doing 40 hours a week, you could pump that thing out pretty quickly. You think? I would think. Maybe they're doing capture for internal assets. Maybe they're doing the thing where like they capture abilities to put as tutorials. You know, some games will do that where it's like, press triangle 3 times, and then they show in like little picture-in-picture the video of you doing it. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I do think it makes sense for them to have a trailer soon, targeting a release date around the time of the show launching, because their hope is people start watching the show are like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love Harry Potter. And they go and buy the game. And then there's an online mode that they can spend billions of dollars in, and Warner Brothers just rides it all the way to the bank. That's what they're hoping for. What I'm hoping for, my desire, is that I was gonna say like my lusting, but that feels weird. My desire for this is that they do not just do the live service like, oh, you liked Hogwarts Legacy for being single player? Cool. This one's multiplayer. Like I hope it's not that. I just bad everywhere. I hope that's not what it is. I hope that they actually remember and retain and appreciate what made that game special, which was that it was so not Warner Brothers. Like again, the fact that we got Hogwarts Legacy, then less than a year later, in the same fiscal year, they launched it was the next fiscal year. They launched Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which was like the embodiment of everything wrong with corporate gaming. It was insane. Like it was actually outrageous. And to go from like the highest high to the lowest low, literally. I mean, they, in their earnings call describing Suicide Squad's failure, they had to say it's exacerbated like in our books because you see this massive gap last year to this year. They basically said it's not normally that big of a gap because normally we aren't doing that well. It's because we had Hogwarts Legacy last year and then this did so badly. Normally it would be like this gap. But it's just this gap because we had Hogwarts Legacy last year. It was massive. It was huge. It was huge. The best-selling game of the year outsold Call of Duty, which is ridiculous. And they have the chance to do that again. I was describing this to a couple of my Muggle friends. Like they play games, but they're not playing a new AAA game every month. You know, they pick and choose their battles very specifically. They might play a new game every 6 months, maybe like 1 or 2 a year. And I was describing to them the idea of a like Harry Potter game, an MMO where you can play with your friends and go to classes. Progression is long-term. It's tied to actually attending school and classes. The seasons change with the semesters changing. You can actually join the house that you belong to. And then there's a big meta game where you're actively trying to complete challenges and things for your house to earn points for the house cup. And maybe if you win the house cup, you get exclusive cosmetics and stuff. There's like the game kind of designs itself once you start spitballing it, you know, because I think it just makes sense. And those people, dude, those Muggle friends of mine, it is anecdotal, but bro, they were like so into it. Like they were like, when is this coming? Like I need that. And I think that will be in effect 10 times over when it reaches the masses. So I think they have something, you know, on their hands here if they can do it. But I hope that the single player game doesn't suffer as a result. And of course that it's not over monetized because I think they know what they have and they know that this could be massive. And then there's a temptation for sure to overstep at that point. But Warner Brothers is confident they are making a comeback, that this HBO show will be fantastic and will pop off. And they are hopeful for sure that it continues and that they can nail it properly, but time will tell. Time will tell, my friends, but I will say I never count out the fandom of Harry Potter. It is something else. Like you're talking about 30-year-old men and women who still tie their personality to that in a very real and profound way. So, you know, never doubt it. Never doubt it. It's a big deal. He took my thing.